All right. In this video, I want to talk about number 2 here. This has died on me. But number 2 here in these tactics that are used to manipulate you. And this is demonstrated by having you over here. And I should change this a little bit. Let's erase that real quick. And you are telling somebody to stop. Right? Don't come any closer. And let's say, because you're worried about them hurting you, so you got yourself a weapon here. You're like, stop, don't come any closer, or I will defend myself. Right? And the person over here, they don't respect you or your boundaries. And they want to get closer to you. So what do? If they take one step forward, you'll be like, hey, back up. And then they just go right back to where they were, right? But if they take 2 steps forward and you go, hey, you back up. Well, then they just back up 1 step. And now they're a little bit closer, right? They're here now. And if they do that again, they might wait a little while that you get used to them there. Then they go 1, 2 again. And you're like, hey, I see what you're doing. So then they back up again. But they're a little bit closer. Right? And they let you get used to that. And then they do it again. They go 1, 2. And you're like, hey, you're getting close here. You're way closer than I remember. You're like, whoa, back up, I back up. But you notice, that's a big jump, right? They're here. You think they've gone back, but they've actually made it about 3 or 4 steps. They've moved forward. They haven't stayed back. They haven't stayed in their place. They haven't moved backwards. They've moved forward. So you see, this is done with the government. This is you. This is the government. You, government. This can also be your church can do stuff like this. This can be an individual too, like just a person who is trying to have a relationship with you, and they don't respect your boundaries, right? Well, you see, what they'll do is similar to the art of the deal. And the art of the deal, one of the tactics that you'll do is, let's say you're trying to get a deal on a car that's worth $10,000, but you don't want to pay the full $10,000, right? You're trying to get the price down, so you give them a really crappy lowball offer. I'll give you $1,500, maybe $2,000. And they're expecting like $15,000 or something, right? And you give them a real lowball offer, which is way lower than you are willing to go, but you make it sound like that's as high as you'll go, to get them to try to lower their asking price, right? And it's very similar to that, where the government will be here, or your church, and they'll jump over here, right? And this could be with the government saying, oh, we want to take away guns, right? Or the church is bringing in a false doctrine. And you say, hey, I see what you're doing. Well, they'll be like, oh, okay. They'll go back here, where they say, okay, the government says, we won't take away guns, we just want to take away automatic guns. And then you're kind of like, okay, well, at least it's not all guns. But you see, if they came out and they just said, we want to take away automatic guns, you'd say no. But since they said they want to take away all guns, and then they backed off and said just automatic, okay, that's not so bad. You see how they tricked you? They did the whole 2 steps forward, 1 step back. And you called out the false doctrine. So, oh yeah, okay. Well, they don't go back to saying it's false. They'll go back to saying something like it's partially true. There's some truth to it, right? They won't say that it's false. They'll try to water it down a bit, saying, well, they won't say what it is. It's false. And then since you won't accept it as true, they'll say, well, it's partially true. It's partly right? They kind of back off a little bit. But if they were trying to say that this doctrine was partly true in the first place, you would have been like, no, goo, right? But since they said it was true, and you called them out, and then they back off to saying, oh, it's partially true. Oh, okay, that's a reasonable compromise, right? You see how they do that? So I just wanted to make this quick video to show you the tactic of what is called 2 steps forward, 1 step backwards. So anybody's trying to make a deal with you, you need to understand that what they're offering, what they're pushing forward, is not their ultimate goal. It's to make you acceptable of what they're actually going to do, which isn't as bad as what they're pushing. So you'd be like, okay, that wasn't as bad. Like, hey, we're going to take 3 or 2/3 of your paycheck. No. And they've been telling you this for a couple months. In another month, we're going to end up having to take 2/3 of your paycheck. And then when that time comes, they're like, and you're ready to fight, they're like, oh, well, no, we decided it's only 1/3. It's only 1/3. And you're like, oh, well, that's not so bad. I was worried about being 2/3. And it's like, well, they just got away with taking 1/3 without you fighting back because they weaseled in there. You see, it's that whole thing about if you give an inch, they'll take a mile. So you can't even give an inch. Even if they back down, be like, no, you back completely down. I'm not giving anything. Oh, you said you're going to take guns, and then you go, oh, no, we're just going to do automatic? No. Oh, you say it's a true doctrine? Oh, now it's partially true. No, it's not anything. It's not partially true. Right? You don't let them take an inch. You got to have that discernment. And hopefully this video helps you discern this kind of thing. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching. Please take a moment to pray to our Heavenly Father that He keeps this stuff going. And if you want to support, please like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, share the video, share the channel, interact in the comments section. And if you're a cheerful giver, there's 4 ways you can support in the info description box there. And with all that being said, thank you so much for your support in any way you give it. And I'll catch you in the next one.